Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Cooking with Unity. I'm your host, Maximilian Moreau, and with me is unfortunately not my co-host, Philip Wilson. He couldn't make it tonight under such short notice. Unity3d. We've got the new awesome 2D tools available on Unity 4.3, and we're going to be looking through those. This is kind of going to be pretty freeform. This episode is going to be a little bit longer than usual. It's a special. I'm going to probably run it to about 11:15 my time, just because if I go longer than 2 hours, it causes problems with the YouTube afterwards, so I need to keep it under that, and I want to have enough buffer in case I go a little bit over. That's going to be my target is 11:15. And yeah, so just I'm going to be monitoring comments over here. So if I sound distracted, that's probably me reading comments. And of course, there's always a little bit of a delay between the video and the comments, so if you ask a question, just expect it to eventually come up. What we're going to do first is kind of look at what new features are in there and kind of play around. The main goal I have is to set up basically a character animator and controller so that we can have a character jumping and moving around and stuff, and we'll do all the texture importing and sprite stuff for that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, probably want to actually show you my screen. That would have been embarrassing. Alright, so I have already started a new project, but I wanted to point you guys out to a couple things. So when you create a new Unity project on Unity 4.3, there's now this pull down called Set Up Defaults for 3D or 2D. And you can set that, and that will set up a few things that are related to 2D and 3D for you. Now, you don't have to worry too much about that. You can actually change this later, and I'm going to show you exactly where. So once you've created a project, which is this one, this is an empty project, except for I have imported the 2D example. I highly recommend that you guys look at Unity's own video, their 2D overview. It's a very well-made video. I was really impressed. And their 2D example is much more usable from a learning perspective than their previous examples. Like, I love their Island and Angry Bots demos, but those demos more show what Unity is capable of and less show how to use Unity. This one actually is really good at learning how to actually organize things for a 2D game in Unity. So we'll probably be looking and maybe pilfering some code from there. So first off, editor settings. If you go into Edit, Project Settings, Editor, this is where you can change the default behavior mode between 2D and 3D. What this mostly does is it basically makes it so that when you see the scene, it defaults to 2D. Like, I think if I change this, I'm not sure if this actually changes it in real time. Okay, it doesn't. And it changes the default import behavior to do sprites rather than image texture imports. And I'll show you the difference between those in a little bit here. So we're going to be working with 2D tonight. I'm going to not be messing around with this, but I just wanted to point it out to you so that you guys can find it later if you're looking for it. So I'm going to open up the example here. You may have seen it. It's probably going to be loud, so I'm not going to talk over it when I start playing it. I'm just going to play it for a few seconds, show you the basics, and then I'll actually talk about what's going on.
Ow, ow, oh, oh. I'd fire. Let's have you. That's what you got. Ow, ow.
Alright, so that's the 2D tutorial, and the thing has all sorts of little things that play around. It's got a background that uses scrolling, and it has a script to handle that called Background Parallax, and it has a hero that has all sorts of toys on him, including his animation stuff. The animator it's driven by an animator, which is actually something that I really like about Unity 2D, because this is going to be huge for people as they move into the professional field. The animator actually is a state machine system. And so this automatically opened up an editor thing. And so, like, when you're playing the game, I'm going to go ahead and break this out somewhere. I guess there will probably be fine for right now. When you're playing the game, you can actually see the way states operate and stuff. So if I hit play,
Ow,
you can see...
ow, ow.
I need to actually select the player. So if I hit play now, it's going to show this. Okay, so he's in run mode, and then he goes to idle mode, and if you jump, he goes into jump mode. And all of that is driven by these states. And what's interesting about this is also, if you were using Unity for 3D, this is also how you handle animation on 3D characters as well. And so it's actually really exciting because you can actually practice this in 2D, which is considerably easier to get set up in, and just use little sprite sheets and stuff. And then you can transition this to actual 3D models very easily. This is knowledge that you're going to learn on the 2D stuff. Yeah, so hey to everyone, and unfortunately no Phil. I'm very sorry about not having Phil tonight. We may do more 2D stuff. I'm considering making it 2D Tuesday, quote unquote, but don't hold me to that, because I've got precious little time as it is. But I definitely wanted to get at least an overview done, just because this is such a huge update, and it's something that Unity has needed for so long. And it's really well organized. I really like this stuff. So let's get out of this example level, and let's create a new level of our own. So I'm going to create a new scene. Don't save, and we're going to call this, let's go ahead and save the scene as 2D play around. So let's start by talking about the asset import pipeline. So I'm running the free version of Unity. I'm running Unity Basic on here. I actually had to downgrade myself for this presentation because I didn't want to accidentally use stuff that was pro only and not realize it. Let's actually real quick go to the Unity3d release notes. So if you go through the release notes, you can actually see all of the, like, it's a huge list of stuff that's been changed and added and stuff. So the big thing is 2D, and the big scary thing that they put in here is Sprite Packing Atlasine Pro only feature. And what they're talking about is not Sprite Atlasine in general. You actually can do quite a bit with the built-in Unity. What you can't do is, if you just have a bunch of individual sprites, you can't just have Unity make a texture atlas for you. It will not handle that for you. In the Pro version, it not only creates the texture atlas for you, but it will actually shape cut based on alpha, and it'll do some fancy things like define a physics mesh based on the alpha, and all these other really cool things. And it's really cool features to have, but alas, you're not going to have them if you're in Unity Basic. But that doesn't mean that you're banned from sprite use. As a matter of fact, it's actually very easy to do still, and there's a tool called TexturePacker, which you can use the Lite version to handle a lot of the stuff that Unity does for you in the Pro version. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example of this. So I've got here a folder called Public Domain Sprites. And these are some graphics I got. There's a link in the description of the video. If you click show more, you'll see it. And you can download these yourself. These are CC0 public domain, so you can use them for whatever you want. And so I'm using them for this example. And actually, they're not perfectly set up, which is even better, because then I can kind of explain to you workflows to fix problems like this. So there's a sprite sheet that's already pre-made in here called P1 Sprite Sheet, and I'm going to use this one as an example here. So all this is, let me just open it up in preview here. All this is just a series of sprites of this little dude that walks and jumps and slides and does some other things. And it's not perfectly squared out, and it's not perfectly organized, and we may actually make our own version of this in a moment, but I just want to show you what we can do with what we've got here. So we've got this sprite sheet, and it's so if you have this pull down indicator, and it just looks like it doesn't really do anything. You don't know what this is. This is actually your sprite. So like if I pull this into the scene, that's my sprite. Now, obviously, that's not what we want. We want to have the sprite to be an individual, and it's actually very easy to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and delete Mr. Sprite Sheet here. And we're going to change this from sprite mode single to sprite mode multiple. And then we are going to go into the Sprite Editor that shows up here when you choose multiple. So, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the format to true color. That way we don't have to worry about aliasing issues and stuff. Now, this is a non-power of 2, so this is not optimal for game stuff. As I said, some of these things are not well set up, and I'll show you how to actually make them well set up. So the Sprite Editor here, you're going to love this. You go to Slice, and just do automatic for sure, whatever, center, method, delete existing, slice, bam, there you go. We've got our sprites here. This is Sprite 1, Sprite 2, Sprite 3, Sprite 4. And now when you hit apply, you'll see that we have our individual sprites that you can just drag into the scene, and they work as the individual sprites. It's that freaking easy. I love this system. So, so that's awesome. So the way the splitting works is it's very basic but very effective. All it does is it looks for transparent areas between sprites, so there has to be at least a pixel space between each one. You can set a minimum size, so like if there was a small like orb somewhere, it wouldn't pick it up. The other trick is the way this works is, so if you had like a particle effect that had a bunch of little pieces, you might have to manually work on that. And you can manually do all this. Like each of these, if you didn't like the way it sliced it, you can just adjust the slice and it will instantly update when you hit apply. You can also kind of manually drag out things. So like if I unslice everything, we can slice by grid, so this just does a grid slice. It doesn't actually pay attention to anything. So if you have stuff that's already nicely organized, you can get that into Unity very quickly. If I do automatic, how do I clear all of these? There must be a way to clear it. Actually, I probably can just select all, right? Let's see. Oh, I see, that creates a new one. So, say I didn't have these created, and I wanted to do one just around this dude here. We can just draw out a square around him, and then you can hit trim, and it'll automatically trim to his edges. So even if you have stuff that's kind of tricky, like if you had a piece that's multiple pieces, like if we wanted both of these guys to be one sprite, we could just open it up to about there, and then do trim. And actually, that's not a good example because I didn't get all of them. But you encase all of them, and then you do trim. And that didn't quite work because... I think it's because we're getting the feet up there and causing a problem. But the auto stuff works really good anyway. So let's just do automatic slice again. And we'll just work with these as they are. So, again, what you're not getting with Pro is if I had these as individual sprites, which I actually do. If you look in this folder, we also have the individuals. We can't just drag them directly into Unity and have Unity composite a sprite sheet, but you can split a sprite sheet that's pre-existing easily. And if you're making a 2D game, you've probably made sprite sheets before, and so this already will integrate into your workflow. I'm going to hit refresh just in case I'm not getting any... updates here. So, revert. Yeah, revert might have worked. I don't know. Revert probably would have taken me back to this state because I had made some changes on here. So, like, if I do revert, yeah, it takes me back to that state. So I can't just do a full delete on that. Actually, I can probably do it if I just switch this to single, hit apply, and then go back to multiple. It'll actually allow us to start from scratch again. Nope, I lied. It's too smart. All right, so let's do some really basic animation and stuff here. So let's create a character of some kind. So what do we have for sprites here? I'm going to pull this up so we can see them a little better. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, what looks more like walking? Alright, so this is a good little idle animation, so let's start with that as our idle. We'll just have him just alternate between those two. So, I'm going to pull... How do I want to do this? I'm going to pull him up here. And we're going to now add an animation to him. So we're going to do game object. We're going to open up our animation window. So the animation window, where's a good place to dock this? I'm going to try putting it across here. Kind of want to put it across the bottom, but I always have a problem when I do that. Let's find out if I have a problem with it this time. Usually I get some sort of console message, yeah, window layouts are invalid. That's kind of what I figured, so let's not do that. I have worked with it that way, and it hasn't been a real problem. But so I'm going back to wide, one column layout here, and we're going to open up our animation window. Is that, yeah, animation window. So there's animation and animator, and they're two different things. Animation is animation. Animator should have been called animation state machine or something. So animator is actually not what we want, naturally. We want animation. So so I'm gonna dock this here because I don't think that'll make Unity mad. Oh, and I forgot to get my console back, so let's bring this back. I think that was from before. Hopefully that's not from now. So so here's our animation curve editor. And we're going to look at our little sprite here. So the other thing here to note is when you create the sprite sheet, it has pixels to units. And actually you want that to be about the size of your character. So like, let's look at how big one of these guys is. So this guy is 66 by 93. So, so 100 is probably about right. I'd honestly probably move it closer to 66. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go into here, change the pixels to units to 66, and hit apply, and he'll become a little bit bigger in the view here. And so we're going to click on him, and we're going to create a keyframe. Oh, we have to create an animation for him first. Okay, so we'll save this as idle. And so idle's just going to be 2 frames, and we'll just have them alternate every so often. Why can't I move the... What's going on? Can I click anything? Okay, I can click that. What are you doing to me, Unity? Alright, let's do sprite renderer, sprite, add this curve. No, don't rename it, add it. Now can I do this? Why can't I do this? Okay. And this is part of the reason that I want to do this on the show live so that we can figure out these problems. I'm going to close this. I'm going to open it again, animation, and I'm not going to dock the window this time. I'm just going to have it floating. Okay, keep it floating. I need to make sure I don't touch the tab to maintain that. So we've got idle here selected. There we go. I can actually adjust things now. That was strange. So this represents 1 second here, the 1.0 there. So let's just make him switch every 0.3 seconds. So here we're going to add a keyframe, I think. Alright, well let's just drag the new sprite in there. So we're going to grab Sprite 15, and that's why it's difficult working with the floating window. Okay. Let's redock this somewhere. Bear with me, folks. Normally I don't have to show this animation editor too often. Let's just put it over here. There, that'll work. And we will drag over Sprite Sheet 15 to here. And we can just move him around. And so, so now if we hit play here, we'll see him switch states. And so now we have a little animated dude, and you can see he's animating over here as well. I don't think he'll animate in the game. Oh, he'll even animate in the game view. That's interesting. So, so that's cool. So there we have our most basic animation. And so if we move this preview down a little bit and look at what we've got here. It's automatically added an animator to us, so we're already one step ahead for getting that set up, and we have our animations being displayed by that. So if we double click on this sprite sheet here, this will open up our animator interface, which I'm going to have to find another place to put. I'm probably going to put that here. Maybe that's the best place for it. Just dock it with the inspector. Yeah, okay. So so right now we have any state to idle, and the idle animation just is actually one of the animations in the controller. So if we let's look at the base layer here. Let's look at the parameters. How does this work? Okay, so lots of stuff to learn. This is going to be exciting. So so we have this idle animation. Let's look at our character again, and we apply root motion. I don't think we actually want that. What does that actually do? We'll have to look at that at some point. So this controller already has the idle state. Alright, so if we just hit game and hit play, we'll have a little character that moves automatically left and right. And if we look at his animation thing, it doesn't actually show anything. So he's just in the idle state. So let's make another state for him. Let's make a walking state. So we're going to create a new animation. Let's see what we got. Alright, good. People found everything. Alright, so what we're doing is we're going to create another animation here. So if we go to our create new clip here, let's create walk cycle. I'll just call it walk. And so walk is going to be a little bit different. We're going to add our sprite curve here. And this time we're going to do, the initial state is going to be, so what do we got here? I need to actually look at our inspector. So these could work as walk. I like these. These look better for walk. So 7, 8, and 9. And we'll alternate back and forth. So we'll do 7, put that in here. Let's get rid of this one. And we're going to put 8 in here somewhere, and we'll put 9 in here somewhere. And we're going to get rid of the final version here. And I'm just going to set it at half-second intervals, even though that's really too slow. We'll see how this actually looks in animation. And then the other thing we're going to do is, is there a way to actually make this rock back and forth? Where did that go? If I get rid of record, where'd they hide that? Used to be able to set up see what we got in here. Loop time, loop pose, cycle offset. Alright, don't know what that stuff is. So at some point in the past we had the ability to actually set this as a different type of animation, but I'm just going to manually do it here. So let's see what this actually looks like when we hit play. Okay, so we're going to need to actually roll this back down. So I got to grab a sprite sheet. Which one is this? 14? No. Okay, so that's 9. So let's grab 8 again. and 7 again. And let's make it so this all happens in 1 second. So I'm just going to slide all these guys over. So now if we hit play, he should look like he's doing a little walk. Alright, cool. Looks kind of like a walk. Still not very fast, but we can readjust that later. So let's stop the record on that. So now we have 2 animations working. So if we hit play on this, we'll have just the guy doing the idle, I think. Yeah, there we go. So if we go into our Sprite Sheet animation controller, what we're going to do now is we're going to have it move between idle and walk. And so we're going to make a transition, and we're going to connect it to walk, and we're going to make a transition and connect it back to idle. And I actually need the inspector at the same time as this, don't I? Yes, I do. Alright, so that means that docking it here is not the best place to go. So where are we going to dock this? Let's dock this down here, because we're probably not going to use the animator and the animation at the same time, so that'll probably be fine. I'm going to have to like really figure out a killer interface organization to use all this stuff effectively. So this is the inspector for our walk and our idle stuff. And so from walk, we have our idle here, and it can transition to our walk, and our transition to the idle from walk is just an exit time 1.0. So if I hit play here, so now he's automatically transitioning between his idle and his walk. So we can actually see that this is working. This is really nice, actually. The beta did not have the default exit time already put in there, so this already gives you an idea that things are working. I like it when the defaults give you an idea that things are working, even if that idea is wrong. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to want to do things at a different time than the exit time. So what conditions can we add? So if we do add... Alright, so there's only exit time in this list. So let's remove that, and let's look at our parameters here. Let's turn this off real quick. And float, what does this do? New float, so that just gives us a value. Okay. How did they set up the speed thing? That was really cool. I'm going to look at the 2D example real quick. Let's save what we've got so far. I'm just going to play around a little bit and see what they've got in here, because they did something interesting. They made it so that his idle transitioned to walk based on his speed. And so I'm just trying to figure out where that speed information is kept. So if we go into his character here. So this is his character thing. And so idle has a transition where if his... okay, so there's his speed. So the speed actually being set somewhere. Let's look at that. Let's look at one of his scripts. Oh, we're opening up Mono Develop. Sorry, I forgot to do that. Mono Develop looks different, so get ready for that. And there's probably a lot of new features that are awesome, but we'll have to figure that out as time progresses. So set float, speed, math, ABS, H. H is the horizontal. Okay, so they actually just specifically set it. So that's easy enough. So yeah, so that's what we'll do in our little example. So let's look at the how do they do that? Set float. So there's set and then the name of the variable. That's cool. So we're gonna go back to 2D play around, and let's make it so we can move this guy left and right, and so that he animates appropriately when you go left and right. So let's open this one up, not the other case. I'm going to create a new C# script. We're going to call this move left, right. And we've done this one a million times. Public float speed, and public string axis name equals horizontal. So horizontal is a built-in. Where is my save button? All right, save. There used to be a nice little button up here. I'm already scared of this new interface. All right, so horizontal is a built-in one, so we don't have to actually even do anything, and this should work. So all we're going to do is in our update here, we're going to set transform, no completions found. Are you kidding me? Alrighty then. Feel like I'm beta testing. Alright, so let's find that sync mono develop project. Maybe that'll fix everything. Alright. This dot transform? No. I'm going to quit mono develop. I'm going to save and close. We're going to open it up again, and we're going to pretend that it's all going to work great. So, transform. This is crippling. I mean, I can do it without the autocomplete, but that's brutal if it's not going to work. Let's close this. Let's sync the monodevelop project. Let's open move left and right. Alright, whatever. Transform dot position plus equals transform dot right times speed times time dot delta time. So that, oh yeah, so that's almost everything we need. So this would just make him move to the right, but we also want to multiply in the times input dot get axis name. It'll complete that for me, the easy stuff. All right, so I'll hit save on this, and this should just work. We'll see if we got any compilers. Excellent, we didn't. I'm going to throw this on my Sprite Sheet 14, which I'm actually going to rename to player, and we're going to hit play. So now if I press left and right on the keyboard, absolutely jack happens, and that's because we didn't actually put no, we did put the script on it. But the speed's 0. This is why you should always put a default of useful numbers in things. So this is not going to fix the problem, but it will fix it in the future if we attach this to another thing. So I'm going to set the speed to 1, and we're going to hit play. And so now I should be able to move him very slowly left and right. So let's make him a little bit faster so that it reads a little bit better. 5. Alright, so he's cruising. And so right now he's just transitioning because of his animation stuff. So we're going to create a new parameter. We're going to call it speed. We're not very original. And in our move left right in script, we're going to actually adjust speed. So we're going to just make it animation. Hold on. What is it actually called in this script for the player? Anim.setFloat. Okay, so it's just called anim to get at the so it's called anim.getFloat or setFloat. call it speed. And I think this takes a separate parameter of what we want to actually set it to. So it'll be input.get axis axis name, and we're going to do mathf.abs, and we're going to hit save and hope that this actually compiles. Anim does not exist in the current context. Okay, so that was something that they had pulled out of somewhere else. Get component animator. So is there not a built-in previously done component? Probably not. Or are they doing this for optimization purposes? To answer your question, I have not actually played around with Physics 2D raycasting yet. That's something we will play with at some point here. I'm really distraught over the fact that I am not getting autocomplete on this. I really am. Like, I do kind of rely on that in my workflow. And, I mean, that's how I find new exciting things. Why? Why is this... Here, actually, let's search the internet. Why can I not use... Oh, there's some interesting ones there. Why can I not get autocomplete mono develop Unity 4.3? Shut down mono develop, delete all PDIB files in every folder of the project ineffective solution. So let's just try that. Let's give that a shot. Even though this is an old solution. Save and close. We're going to go into the project directory, which is here, and we're going to move out one more. And hey, where are the PID files? Okay, well, I'll just get rid of all this stuff. Bleh. Empty trash. And let's try it again. Let's grab move left, right. I didn't have much problems with the old mono develop, but yeah, nothing. Alright, sweet. That just sucks. Alright. Well, let's public animator anim equals game object dot get component animator. Well, it's just gonna have to take it on faith that exists. See what we get now, and when I come back here, oh, did I not actually save? I didn't save. What do I need to do to make this thing work right? This is so frustrating. Wonder if I can go back to the old version of mono-develop. Alright. Object reference is required to access non-static member get component system type. Oh, maybe game object? Did that fix it? Alright. It says all compiler errors, but I think they actually are fixed. So now we have, so if we hit play here, we should see the speed adjusting. So you can see it's going up and back. So, and no matter which direction we're going, it goes up. That's the reason we used absolute value. If I had not used absolute value, just for grins, we'd hit play, and you'll see that it will go between 1 and -1. And so the reason we want to use absolute value is it saves us a little bit of time when we actually decide what to do, because we want the run animation to happen whether he's moving left or right. So if we hit save, we're going to now go into our transition here. So we want to transition to walk. We don't want exit time. We don't care about that. We want to set this to speed, and we want it to be greater than 0.1. And actually, you know, let's not use ABS. I'm curious if we can actually do a two-stepper. This is how they did it in the demo, so that's probably a good way of doing it. But let's play around with things a little bit. So if speed is greater than 0.1, and then if we also do speed is less than -0.1. I'm just curious if this will work. And so that'll transition to walk, and then we'll do the exact opposite here. We'll do speed is less than 0.1, and speed is, this is so not going to work, greater than -0.1. I don't think this is going to work at all, but I wanted to try it anyway. So if we hit play here, so we have this idle animation now, and we move to the right, and you still have idle, and we move to the left, and we still have idle. I didn't think that was actually going to work. So let's go back to the absolute value option here. Can we have multiple transitions to the same thing? Maybe if I make a new transition. Oh yeah, you can create multiple transitions. Interesting. Okay, so that probably would be the way that we could set it up that way. We'll play around with that in a second. So let's get rid of this one. Does that get rid of it? Okay, good. All of these controls and things, it causes me to not scroll. So let's get rid of this parameter. There we go. And again, if we want to get rid of the second parameter here. And so now if we hit play, we should see he's in idle, and he's still in idle. Why? For why? Por qué? Oh, because I totally got rid of the wrong thing. 0.1 greater than, and then less than 0.1. Okay, good. So if we hit play one more time, this time is the charm. Yay, he goes into a walk animation, and he goes into a walk animation again. Now we want him to actually flip around too, so we can do that pretty easily by just scaling him. And so that's what we're going to do. They actually do this in their own example too, so that actually made me feel like this is actually a viable way of doing it. So let's make it also if input.getAxis axis name is less than 0. Is less than 0. Else if input.getAxis name is greater than 0. We will set his horizontal scale. So transform dot local, or local scale. I don't think I can directly just set the X scale. I'm going to try it just to see what it gives me, just in case they change something. I don't think they have though. Equals -1.0f, because it probably will complain about that. For some reason it doesn't care about zeros, but it does care about ones. And we'll set it to 1.0s. And this is going to give us a compile error immediately that says I can't do that. Yep, can't do it. So vector3 new scale equals transform dot local scale new scale dot x equals 1.0 f, and then transform dot local scale equals new scale. We're going to do the exact same thing here, and except we're going to set it to negative and hit save. And so now if we hit play, we can walk to the right and we can walk to the left, and he'll keep on looking in the direction. So like if you get to the right a little bit, he looks to the right in his animation. And I'm glad autocomplete is working fine for everyone else but me. That's awesome. That's great. You guys should do the show. So what am I doing? So that's so now we've got a little character moving left and right, and let's give him a little jump too. Let's make it so he can jump. So I'm going to do this with physics. So we're going to need a little bit of a platform for him to be on. So I'm going to create a cube, and we're going to see how colliders work on this. I'm pretty sure that they're incompatible between the two physics systems, though I'm going to try, just because I like to try. So let's move this up into like 100 space, and let's move the cube down, and let's grow the cube in the X, and then let's give the player a physics 2D, rigid body 2D, and it's totally gonna fall right through the... Oh, not what I expected. As a matter of fact, that was very strange. What happens when I hit play up here? Huh. I have no idea why he's flying in the air like that. Oh, maybe it's because of the way our animator is working. So if we do not apply root motion, there we go. Let's animate the physics. Okay, so I think that's how they have it set up in the demo. We'll have to do some research as to exactly what that stuff means. So if I hit play here, he's going to fall through, and he totally doesn't work because this is using a box collider. So let's add a physics 2D box collider 2D. It conflicts with the existing, so let's get rid of the existing one. Who cares? Create physics 2D rigid body 2D. No, that's not what I wanted. Physics 2D box collider 2D. There we go. So now if I hit play, oh, still no good. Why is that? It's not a trigger. Let's give this thing a rigid body just in case it's one of those little tricky situations, and let's make it kinematic and hit play. Alright, let's make it non-kinematic and hit play. Okay, let's make it not affected by gravity and hit play. Only problem is if you click both movement keys at once, say left and right arrows at the same time, the animation will face the wrong way. Not true? What is the behavior of pressing left and right on the parameter here? So if we press left and right... Okay, well, if you're using get access, you're actually already stuck in on whatever left and right means. So it's just going to ignore... So, like, actually, if we turn off his physics real quick, let's get rid of the... Let's just set him to kinematic. So, so if I'm holding right here and press left, nothing happens. And if I'm holding left here and press right, nothing happens, which is actually what I would probably do. The other option would be to zero out everything. So if you press both keys at once, the animation will face the exact right way, actually, because we're using access information. So false, but yes. So let's put the gravity back on. Let's look at our So maybe we have to put these on the same layer or something. Sorting layers. So how do we actually affect sorting layers? So layer default, what is this one? These guys are both in the same plane. So the way sorting layers are determined is in the sprite renderer. Alright, well let's play with some of the other sprites we have here. Let's go ahead and go into our public domain sprites. And I'm going to grab this crazy tile set here. So this is our tile sheet here. I'm just going to pull this one in so that we have a bunch of tiles to work with. And we're going to go ahead and go into sprite mode, multiple. We're going to go to the Sprite Editor. We're going to slice automatic. There we go. We have all our wonderful little tiles now. Apply. And how big are these dudes here? These are what we should probably build based on. Alright, so if I go to Sprite Editor and click on one of these, there we go. 70 by 70, naturally. Non-powers of 2 for the win. So we're going to go ahead and do, I'm going to do true color here and hit apply again, and so what did I set him as a scale? Let's set his scale to be the same. So we're going to do sprite 1 sheet, this one's going to be 70, this is going to be our actual block size, apply, and then this one's going to be 70, and now they'll actually be, he'll be like the right size, horizontally at least, maybe, we'll see. So what's a good block? We'll just go with these crazy little Mario style blocks. And I'm actually going to go back in here and reslice everything. Because I didn't like how that's lined up. I still don't like how that lines up. Whatever. So if I put him here and I add a physics 2D box collider on here and hit play, what happens? Still falls right through. Oh, Phil's here. Hold on one second. Wasn't expecting this. Hold on. Go, come on in.
Special surprise guest.
Justin. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
That is true.
So we've got Philip Wilson here, and
Hey,
we also have Justin Moravitz here. Good guys.
Hello.
You're half right.
Half right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a guy.
Oh, okay. So where were we? We were trying to get collision working and failing miserably. So let's see where we're at. So box collider 2D, physics, rigid body, interpolate, and he falls right freaking through.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So I'm going to create another rigid body 2D here again, and I'm going to set the gravity scale to 0 again and see if this does anything right.
Maybe it will do
Nope,
everything right. Oh.
Didn't do anything right. Does the player not have a collider? The player doesn't have a collider.
Silly player.
That would be my problem. So box collider 2D. Now probably everything will work. So if I hit play,
Yeah.
yay! Everything
that.
works.
I'm glad I was here to witness that.
So that's awesome. So first of all, let's go back to our previous test. I don't think this is going to work, but I want to see if I remove this box collider 2D and rigid body 2D, and we put our 3D physics. I just want to confirm that this is actually not going to work. And hit play. What happens? Yep, didn't think so.
It did not like that at all.
So if we replace this box collider component with
not
a
like that.
physics
No,
2D
but you're right in your roll the second you get it. It was awesome.
and hit play, yay! It
Look at
worked.
the little dude.
Yeah, the little dude. He animates and has a little walk animation.
Oh, that's
Look
awesome.
at the little dude. I don't know why I'm so excited
Die
about
box.
the little dude.
Oh, wait.
That's pretty amazing.
What?
Oh, this has no gravity. He just forced it by sheer weight. He just forced it to the ground.
Oh, so he steps on it first.
He steps on it and then he kicks it off into space.
Oh, that
Oh, he's a little
purple type
spaceman.
Epic.
Yep, he's a little spaceman or something. So I'm going to go ahead and actually make this have real physics. So let's put the gravity scale back to 1.
Not
so
those fake physics that you read
Well,
about.
yeah, I mean, they're all real or fake or whatever. Yeah. I feel strong now. Oh, God!
I feel dead now.
So let's make it so this little guy can jump.
Yeah,
So
make-
let's create a little jump animation here. So we're going to create a new C# script called jump. Really exciting.
Can we call him Jump Spaceman?
Jump Spaceman. No, you're going to love this next part. Watch as I do this whole script without autocomplete.
Oh.
Oh, wait. Do we have some autocomplete?
It looks like
game?
there's some
Yeah,
IntelliSense.
there's
Oh,
yeah.
no IntelliSense.
Yeah. So we've got some of the basics in here, so if I want to bite or a bool, I can do stuff.
He's doing it live.
So public
Game
public
object?
string,
String.
let's do jump button equals fire1, public float jump power equals
10.
10.0f. All right, and we're just going to do this using the physics system. So put a collider on the player. Okay, so people called it. Player needs a box collider 2D. Everyone's calling it. I'm sorry I didn't look at you guys earlier.
You have quite the acute crowd there.
Yeah, no, there's quite a few people watching right now.
Unity 4.3 really does look pretty impressive.
I'm really excited about it. So let's do if input dot get button down jump button, then we will. Oh, I didn't have enough.
So they must have updated MonoDevelop.
Yeah, they really updated it. They updated it to the point of looking really pretty and not really doing anything.
They updated the hell out of it.
Actually, so I may be the only person on the planet having this problem naturally. So, at least on Windows, everyone's like, on Windows it works. So maybe it's just me being a stupid Mac douche. So, so jump button. So we're gonna do
We are all
rigid
Mac
body.
geeks in this room.
I'm not certain if this is actually a real thing. It probably isn't. Rigid body 2D.
You don't have squiggly
add
red
force. Well, it's not going. It doesn't know. It doesn't know anything. It knows nothing.
lines. Okay.
Rigid body add force. Transform dot up. Actually, let's do the big T transform. No, whatever. If he's facing a different direction and we jump, we'll just give him velocity in that direction. Times jump power.
God, I miss Unity.
And we're going to hit save. And we're
Let's see
going
what
to...
happens.
rigid body 2D
Compile it.
does not exist. That's kind of what I figured. So let's create a public rigid body 2D... rigid body 2D. I forget if rigid body is one word or two words in Unity speak.
I wish I could remember.
Here, let's see what it says when we look at the player. Inspector, rigid body 2D is one word. They consider it one whole word. So,
Oh, it needs a semicolon.
we'll do that, and then we'll just do on the start, rigid body 2D equals, game object dot get component rigid body 2D. No, why did you do that to me? It's like the most evil version of autocomplete ever at this point.
What did it do?
It is trying to autocomplete the things that are so inappropriate. So let's see if we're doing guess and check here. Rigid body 2D could not be found. All right, let's see if there's a capital D. Oh, it did a blue. It blued out. Maybe that's a good thing.
Oh, now there's a different one.
Yeah, that's because I wait. Oh, probably here.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So save.
Come on.
There we go.
Alright.
All right. So now if we throw this on the player, God, this must be frustrating for people to watch. I'm not looking at the comments. Yeah, I know it's hard. Here, Phil. This is your job. Here, grab that.
What?
You're paying attention to the comments.
I am now paying attention to the comments.
All right. So hit play, and we hit jump, and I totally didn't jump.
So someone explained how to get IntelliSense back. It's Unity preferences monodevelop.
Unity preferences, monodevelop. Wait, where?
That's all it says. Unity. Please, Unity preferences external tools. It's killing me.
Okay.
Definitely try the above suggestion for autocomplete. Everyone will be happier if it works. Yay.
So what do I do?
It says Unity preferences external tools.
Okay, I'm here.
And then.
All right. Well, they'll see this, and then they'll give a thing, and then I'll go back into it later.
Yes,
So
tell us more.
Tell us more. Would you like to know more? Yes.
We'll send you a virtual
like
cookie.
Starship Troopers.
So if I hit play on this, does it actually get its rigid body 2D? It does. Okay, so play rigid body 2D, and I hit the jump button, and nothing happens. So maybe it's because we don't have enough power on the jump. So let's try making the
This keeps saying Unity
Jump
preferences
going.
external tools for autocomplete.
jump power 1000. Why
can
not?
Can you elaborate what the external
Yay, that
tools?
worked. All
And
right.
hello, everyone that says hello to me.
Does anybody say it? No, I'm not here.
Yeah. No one cares about you, Justin.
Aww, we care.
I made this cool laser shirt though.
Laser shirt. Oh,
My
you
laser
lasered that?
Yeah,
Cool.
but yeah.
It
That's
says
actually very cool.
It just says external tools. Browse again. So
Alright. Builds. Okay.
let's try this one more time.
Preferences,
We will
external
find
tools, browse, and then we find wherever this is hiding. Options, show and finder,
it. External tools. Browse again.
and then we'll just choose monodevelop.app. Is that the problem? Hit open, and then we'll close this, and I'll quit monodevelop just in case.
Just browse and reselect monodevelop is what it's saying.
All right.
What it's saying. What they're saying. Jeez.
I really hope this
The
works.
it, by the way, I'm not referring to any of you lovely viewers as it's. I am just the internet is what I see here on this device.
The internet is all that I see. All right.
So hopefully the
come on.
IntelliSense will work.
Get over there.
Get over there.
All right. So now do I have some fun? Transform.
It says you should have clicked monodevelop then browse.
Oh my God!
It's working?
It's working. Yay!
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
It's all fruity still, but that's okay. I can work with that. What?
Nothing.
Are you laughing? Are you making fun of me now?
No!
Can I make fun of you?
Yes.
Okay. See, at least one of us is having fun.
I'm having fun.
All right. So we've got jump. We had to really jump up the power here. So now let's see if I can do add force. Is that all it's got? Is that the only? Hold on. Rigid body 2D.
Look at all that.
Oh, so this is the built-in. So
Oh,
we can
that's
can just do that.
I kind of like that.
So just had a capital 2D. Let's get rid of this
By the
one.
way.
Let's get rid of this one. We don't need these stupid references.
Just saying, I like how it had the different icons next to what the types
But
were.
is there really only one version of add force? Is that a thing? Hold on. Rigid body 2D dot add force.
There's add force at position and add torque.
So there's not a force mode. Interesting. There's no concept of force modes on these. That's kind of unfortunate.
Not enough nothing
Doesn't
too
surprise
close.
me all that much considering it's based on Box 2D.
Mhm.
But yeah, so we've got jump. Let's actually create a jump animation now. So where's the sprite sheet here?
All right, sprite sheeting.
Tile sprite sheet.
Does it still do the awesome like auto pack sprites thing?
That's pro,
Oh, well, pro only.
but you can do the auto split thing. So
Which
that's
is pretty
which is
awesome.
totally awesome.
So we're looking for P1 sprite sheet.
Yeah. I'm going to look and see what we've got here. I feel naked without being able to look at that thing. What's going on the?
Nothing. There's
Okay,
just-
nothing's happening.
Nothing,
Oh.
not saying.
Oh, I will tell you if something happens.
All right, what looks like a jump? That kind of looks like a jump. We'll just have him switch to a jump there. So we're going to create a new animation on our player here. We're going to create a new clip, jump, and we're going to go ahead and add the. I think you can just drag here. Let's try it. Let's just try dragging in.
So where did this little alien man come from?
He's Creative Commons 0 on
Fantastic.
Open Game Art.
That is fantastic.
Links in the description. So which one is it that we want for jump? Oh, that's kind of cool. We'll have him crouch down and then jump. So 12 to 13. Yeah,
He's
12
so
to 13.
happy.
So we'll do 12,
Bam.
13. We'll have him go real quick through that. And this one we don't want to actually loop.
No looping on this one, huh?
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
wonder if
exactly
that's
sure how to
what
determine
made
that.
Luigi do his thing in Mario 2. It's like, oh, we set it to loop by accident. Ah, it's a feature.
Yeah, it is. It's a good feature too.
Walk.
Idle walk.
mirror. Alright. Transitions. Alright, so is any state the appropriate thing for this?
I don't know. Does anyone have any suggestions?
We'll just have it so that we can go make transition, make transition, make transition back to, yeah, we'll do that, and we'll do that. And
Now it's a triangle.
so now we're going to create
transition.
a trigger, and we're going to call this trigger jump. And so we're going to transition out to jump when you hit jump. We're going to transition out to jump when you hit jump. This takes no parameters. It's basically just a one-frame trigger type thing.
Okay.
It's really cool that they set up something nice like that. And so the transition on here will go back to walk. Let's create another trigger called land. And actually, let's yeah, we'll do that for right now. So land we'll use to get back to. So we'll do land, and then we'll add an additional one called
Exit time?
no. Okay, so if we want it to be in walk, we want speed to be greater than 0.1.
What is
And if we
exit
want it-
time exactly?
Exit time just means it'll automatically exit after that set
Oh, okay,
amount of
that
time.
makes sense.
Yeah, this is the most basic type of transition.
Can you do idle animations in Unity 2D?
Well, that's what I'm doing right here. This is an
But
idle.
is an idle That's an idle animation?
Yeah, here. Yeah, I'll show you. Hold
I
on.
am so excited.
Land, and we'll add. Oh wait, we don't need another parameter for this one. So this one will go to if. Oh, actually, we do want to specify speed is less than 0.1. So now if we hit play here, we're still not going to have the jump animation because we haven't actually done it yet. Let's actually make this player jump crazy again.
Can we make him tap his little foot after 5
50.
seconds?
Oh, we're going to Sonic territory.
Sonic Idol.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Maybe I
Oh,
should.
poor guy.
Let's make it so he can't rotate, even though it looks
Poor-
so cool. Let's
poor
just
whittle
make
guy.
it so that he doesn't rotate anymore. So rigid body 2D, fixed angle. That's new.
Poor little guy.
So why is he not jumping worth anything? Was it really this high that we had to make it for anything to actually happen?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So let's make it 500.
He sure did jump quite decently there.
All right. So he's there, but we actually need to animate him. So what we're going to do is we're going to also do.
One of our commenters said, might be worth noting that you can rename the individual sprite frames for organization, like Walk 1, Walk 2.
Yeah,
But
we can.
that's really not a priority, as he said. He said that's not really a priority for this project.
All right.
I would happen to agree.
So is animation actually the one we want set? No, it's not. So we do have to. There is no fancy pants.
Oh, I want fancy pants.
Animator. Yeah, so we need to actually always do this. That's unfortunate that they don't have this one keyed in somewhere. Public animator anim equals game object dot get component animator. Excuse me. Pardon me.
You're excused.
Set trigger, and we're going to set jump. So now, when we hit play, and we hit the jump thing, he still didn't actually transition to a jump, did he? Why not?
It wasn't in his jump animation?
It says jump.
It's still in an idle animation state, it looks like.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I'm assuming whatever animation state it's in, it's actually...
Okay, so if I actually... Okay, you can see that it's not going there.
Oh, there's jump.
So it's definitely working when I set it there. Anim dot set trigger int ID. Oh, okay. Wait. Dot set float string name float value. Dot set trigger
String name.
Okay.
Which is jump.
Why does it say int ID? Okay. So
Well,
I thought
I'm
it was
assuming
jump.
you could give it a unique identifier in form of an int. That's what I'm assuming.
So this is the player.
Give it its own PK.
He has a...
Oh, after working with database
If I hit
software, that takes a
play-
whole new meaning. Yeah.
So he has a player animator. I hit jump. There he goes.
He's looping.
I guess
No,
it just
he's
didn't
not
compile before.
unidling,
All
no.
right, so yeah, so we want to make it so that doesn't loop. So let's see how we actually fix that. Let's look at our
Animate
jump
toward
here.
Loop time.
Loop time. Do not loop. So if we
Most
hit
of my
play
checkboxes.
now, so he totally did the jump thing. So
Did he just do it once, though?
yeah, so we want to actually make that really single framey. So let's go back to our jump animation here, and we're going to make this a single frame. So now when we hit play, I'm not even sure we saw that frame.
I didn't see it.
All right, fine, we'll make it a couple frames.
A couple more.
This
Guess
doesn't
and
make sense.
check.
Nice, yeah.
That's... Kidding me?
Okay, it looked like he did
So
something.
it doesn't actually look like it goes back.
So
to
yeah,
the
that's
default
because
starting position.
we haven't said that he landed at some point. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to make the very simple case of void on collision enter. Hopefully there's not a separate 2D version of this. We'll find out. On collision enter, we will do anim dot set trigger land. We'll save this and we'll hit play. And so now if we go to the animator, we should see things going. He walks, he jumps, he doesn't land. Alright. So, so let's see what we got here.
Holy moly! Look at that little bar go.
Yeah, it's looping a lot.
It is only looping.
Conditions land. All right, so this is probably not being called. Let's just do a quick debug.log. I'm working.
Oh, my favorite debug messages.
Alright, and we should just get these all over the place, and we totally don't. So let's do a blind check here. Let's just do on collision error 2D.
Oh,
Don't think this is actually going to work.
what if it does?
It might be cool. Oh, I'm working! Alright, well, that's what we needed.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's not a teaching experience. We're all learning together.
That's true.
I don't know why.
Jump only appears for a split second. See if you make the frame longer if it helps.
Oh, I know why. It's because my transitions are... Are these just no matter what they'll do it? So like if I... Let's see what he does. If I hit play here... It wasn't transitioning before though.
I'm not sure if it's because you're moving vertically.
I think it's still under land when he's on the ground. So let's change it to... Wait, on collision enter, why would that still be set as land? Is it printing this continually?
No, just when you're moving, it looks like. Because if you move even to the left, it looks like it's doing it. Which I do find kind of awkward.
Yeah. On collision enter, and yet it's doing it every freaking time that you move.
I'm working.
That's not me at work, though.
Oh, that is me.
All right. So set trigger land. There's no other version of set trigger that unsets it, so because it automatically unsets every frame, or supposedly it does. So why is
that being called whenever you even move?
All right? Let's do.
Can you do me
Alright,
a
so
favor
I'm
and
just-
make jump longer? Just to see what happens. Now that we've actually got it working.
Alright, so now it's working the way I'd expect it. Now it's not. Okay. So if I uncheck this and hit jump, he works right once. So on collision enter 2D evidently happens just before, or maybe we're getting another firing of an event. All right, let's see what they do for the 2D example. I'm going to save what we got, and we're going to go into player control, and I'm going to see if there's anything where taunt random, taunt flip, jump, fixed update, update awake, grounded. Here we go. How are they determining that? Oh, they're doing a raycast.
Oh, interesting. I guess that makes sense.
All right, let's do it.
Took that raycast and threw it on the ground.
That's what you do with raycasts.
All right, so
Or you could throw 'em
update,
towards a wall.
Grounded equals. So
to
we'll
the
just
sky.
do
Not that good.
You can raycast to the sky.
public
You can.
I can.
pool grounded
I might not hit anything.
You
equals
seen my laser at
false.
raycast?
Yes, I have.
Then I get arrested if I hit something.
If grounded,
Yeah.
if grounded,
You're grounded, young
we're
man.
going to anim set trigger land.
Said the lightning strike victim.
And yeah, we'll just get rid of this. And we're doing a ground check position. We don't care about that. We'll do so. Wait, so what does the line cast take? So physics 2D. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you for fixing my mod develop. Thank you.
Yeah, that is seriously helpful.
Line cast. Give me a name to think. Or names.
Names?
Start and end. Okay, so we'll just do transform.position. So the way they did this one is they have a separate object for ground check. Let's do it. Why not? Public game object.
Well, there's been a few suggestions that because you're technically still colliding with the ground. Try setting up a separate trigger underneath the player.
Check.
You might want to try fixed update. That's another thing that was suggested.
Yeah, fixed update is bad for input usually, but it's better for adding forces usually. So I don't know. I do things awkward when it comes to that stuff. And we care about. I don't care about the layer at all. Do I have to have a layer? No, I don't have to have a layer.
No.
So.
Oh, look at that line cast. You can just do a 2D
save.
line cast?
Yeah, just 2D line cast. And let's have the fun stuff. So we're going to create a empty game object. We're going to throw it in the player.
Oh.
We're going to give it a 0, 0.
Is that where the player lives?
Curious what that is. Okay, it doesn't do anything. So there was some way to actually show this as like a little text box, and I'm going to have to look into it on the...
like the documentation?
On the other thing. So we'll just set this as the position, and we'll call this... we'll put this into ground check. And granted, really shouldn't be public, but that's okay.
Yeah, it won't matter in this situation.
So we jump. Okay, that's probably because we're still inside of... So we actually want this slightly up so that we don't... Wait. Just want this right at the bottom. This is not going to probably help us at all. Yeah, it's still going immediately back because it's immediately colliding.
Wait, what's going immediately back?
Alright, so let's see what grounded actually is used by. Find grounded.
Get the input in update, set a bool, run the force in fixed update. That's how the demo does it. That's what Darwin Effect is saying. Apparently there's a help drop-down menu in this mono develop as well. That's good. According to Broadway Futawa. What? For the win. FTW.
Oh, okay. Like, how do you know how to pronounce? Oh, okay, that too.
See, the way that they actually get away with the way that they've set this up is the player doesn't actually he uses a timer to do the jump thing as opposed to actually when he impacts. So like if I go to the player controller, I'll show you a character. His jump actually, his transitions back are just based on time. Exit time 0.58 and exit time 0.58 and speed greater than 1.
It's all time based.
So that's the way that they're not getting the same problems that we are. So we have to actually kind of re-engineer this differently if we want to do it differently, or we can do it their way and just cheat. And
just out of curiosity, how long is your jump animation? And it's not looping now, is it?
It's really short. It's just like a couple frames.
Well, one of the benefits of your way is you can be flexible on how high the jump
Exactly,
is, the
exactly.
gravity, all that stuff.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's the reason I want to do it this way. So I'm going to make this work. So let's put a public float min jump delay equals 0.5f. So what this will do is we will just if grounded. Alright, so jump, we will set our private float jump time equals 0.0f, whatever, and jump time equals min jump delay. Jump time minus equals time dot delta time, and if grounded and jump time is less than 0, or equal to 0, then we do the land. So let's see if this fixes our problem. So we hit play, and we jump, and it didn't quite fix our problem. Probably forgetting something somewhere. Jump time equals min jump delay. Jump time minus equals time dot delta time. If jump time is less than or equal to 0 and grounded.
Oh, are we doing a time delta time on that jump?
Yeah, it's the minus
there it
equals
is.
time dot delta time here. Oh, did I actually save? It's hard to tell because this thing doesn't have the... no, it looks like I saved. Let's see if it actually just didn't compile yet and I was just too fast for it. Nope.
Well, it looks like it's still in the idle animator.
That's a different one.
Oh, that's different?
Not this
Okay.
one's, or wait, player.
There we go. So it says it's actually transitioning into the jump briefly. It's just so
See the
quick
land
that...
checking, but
All right, so let's actually turn on debug. Look at our little private jump time. Why is it transitioning so fast? Debug. Oh, let's not look at this in debug. That's really confusing looking. Both of these are confusing looking. So conditions land. Let's get rid of the secondary condition just in case it's not working the way that I think it is. And actually, let's do that. Oh, it did. Ooh, scary.
it's always a
it actually did it in editor.
Yeah, it did it in editor.
That's
doing it live.
kind of awesome and terrifying at the same time,
Let's get rid of this one too.
by the way.
Oh, no, let's leave that one. So we hit play, and we do jump.
You're just literally wanting it to stay in the end frame of the jump animation, aren't you? Is that correct?
Yeah. That's what I'd like it to do. Back before we did the landing stuff. So trigger land. Okay, let's not set the trigger land again and hit play and see what happens. Did I save that? I didn't.
There's a suggestion. It says, I would suggest using raycast to keep a bool of whether the player is in the air, then only handling the collision event if that bool is true. Oh, look at him jump. He's in the jumping animation
So,
for always.
Yeah, he stays in it now. So this is proof that it's not. So that these are actually both of them required, because if I set the speed to less than 0.1, then we hit play, he will transition to jump and stay in jump at this point.
And
And
he's
now if
not
I click
getting out of
land,
it.
he'll get out of jump.
Okay.
So let's look at what we're doing here. Maybe I'm connecting with something that I shouldn't be checking with. Though, jump time, you would... Here, let's set this to something really long. Player...
Good idea.
Set this to like 5 seconds. And, oh, yeah, because I didn't actually
Yeah,
uncomment
that-
that.
Oh yeah.
That would probably
Save.
help,
All right,
wouldn't it?
hit play. Yeah, he just immediately... Wait, no, there it goes. Jump, 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 jump. Okay, and he stopped.
Doesn't work every time.
That's the most terrifying bug whenever I come across stuff like that.
Yeah, when it doesn't.
Yeah, they don't ever
it's not
work every
consistent.
time. That makes sense actually. So so let's make it so grounded equals false here, and so now that should get rid of the sometimes not working thing.
Maybe try if grounded or jump time is less than 0.
Sometimes it goes forever,
Well, 5 seconds. It feels like forever though.
and sometimes it goes just
Briefly.
briefly. What the fuck? Let's open up the debug again.
Gotta get that debug on.
So we got that jump time there. We set it as 5, and it totally went back to the other thing before. Oh, I know the problem. That shouldn't matter though.
Shouldn't matter. No.
Let's just reverse these. Whatever. See what happens.
Alright.
Hit play.
So let's keep an eye on that jump time still, of course.
So it's still in magical sometimes land.
Where's the flag for grounded? There's grounded checkbox right there. It says it's grounded, it says it's grounded. When does grounded turn off?
Okay, so the problem is if I jump again while... So it works if I jump again while it's... Okay, so let's set this to... Alright. Alright. If, I'm doing something stupid, and it should be really obvious.
Let's see, what do you got here?
So we've got jump time. We said so it's at some negative value when you first hit the button. So if input get button down, jump button, you set trigger jump, you set grounded false, you add a force. Okay, yeah, it actually probably is due to fixed update being a problem. Because what's happening is this is actually not moving the player until the next fixed update. And so let's just do it. Fixed update. And see if that just makes everything happy. Nope, it's still acting
No, it did not.
exactly the same.
It did not make things happy, apparently. So maybe try grounded or jump time is less than 0 and have it set grounded or land. I don't know what that means, or land. Oh. Have it set land.
What was the suggestion?
Maybe if grounded or jump time is less than 0 and have it set grounded or land, I mean. Oops. Oh, I clicked on something.
No, but we want grounded and.
Yeah, because you want to make sure he's on the ground and the jump time.
So this will probably break it in all cases, as opposed to
Huh.
working in some cases. Let's find
Okay.
out, though. Let's give it a shot. So, broken, yeah. It's doing the single frame dance again.
Oh, geez, now it's loading up everything because I accidentally clicked on something and went backwards. Oh.
So grounded equals 2D, physics 2D, line cast, transform position, ground track position. Jump time minus equals time, time dot delta time. Jump time equals min jump delay. If grounded and jump time is less than or equal to 0, then we set the land. So it doesn't work the first time. So we're in a negative state, and we press it, and it only does it for like a frame.
But it does actually change the jump time.
And if we do it when it's non-negative, it works the way we'd expect, which is totally broken right now, but we're trying to show how it works. Like, we got to remember that that's actually the proper way. And so if it's negative, it will always fail, right? Yep, it fails at negative always. So why would it fail at negative? So let's pretend jump time is a negative number. It's a negative number. We get the jump button. We set the jump time to min jump delay. We add a force. We tell it to be in jump state. And then, so the jump time is now at min jump delay.
That's a good question. What are you colliding with? Would it help to debug log the game object in the collision?
Well, right now we're not colliding with anything. We're doing a line cast, but we can see if we're colliding by if grounded is happening. So grounded is that little checkbox that you see here,
and it's pretty much always checked. It looks like.
All right. So if we do a jump,
yeah, it's constant checked.
It is. Oh, well, that's a problem.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier, but I didn't. It's like, why is grounded checked?
All right. So game object.
Hmm.
So why is that happening? Game object transform ground check grounded equals physics2d.linecast transform position ground check dot position. Let's make sure that I'm not doing something really stupid. Physics2d.linecast start end layer mask start end layer mask min depth max depth. That's pretty basic.
Yeah. Hitting the character itself.
That's a good point. Maybe it's somehow hitting the character itself.
Oh, that actually would be the case.
It shouldn't be the case if they did it right.
Though.
It could be. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It could be, but all of the physics stuff in the 3D package guaranteed that it wouldn't hit your own character if the thing or it started from the origin inside of it. But let's go ahead and see if that's the case. So let's make the player be on the player layer. Yeah, sure, why not? And let's set the layer of this to ground. And let's make it so that this only cares about the ground layer. So we're going to do
a layer mask.
Do layer mask, and I actually learned how to do these. 1, bit shift left by layer. No. Game object dot layer. No.
You could also just set if you want a little workaround, you could set the player to ignore raycast. And that would probably work. There was a layer called ignore raycast.
Yeah, we could do that, but I don't want to do that. That's a bad crutch to.
Yeah, no,
fall back on.
I was just saying for like a test.
So let's look at player control real quick. What are they using for theirs?
Uh,
Layer mask named a layer. There's the magic.
That is
That's
the right
magic.
thing.
So we just do jump, and is it ground? Yeah. So we'll hit save.
Is that actually correct? That's called the ground? Cool.
And we'll hit play. And we'll hit play again.
Why don't we take a look real quick at the grounded. Oh, we don't have the debug. Well,
So it's
grounded
actually
is being properly checked.
Yeah, it's now being properly checked. That's really disappointing.
Yeah, it shouldn't be colliding with itself.
Well, at least I was randomly right.
Yeah.
It's never
That helps.
intentional.
Yep, the line cast is picking up the character, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's really annoying. Oh, I can jump in air. That's the problem.
I was like, how did you jump so high?
Let's turn this back to update because it makes the controls suck. Let's go back to layer name check. So we still have. Next step. What did I do? Oh, comma. Save. Hit play. So we got moving left and right. He can jump, and he fails unless the number is positive to start. So since that's the case, let's just do... I don't know why this matters. If jump time is less than 0, jump time equals 0. Let's see if this just magically fixes it. And then we'll figure out why later. No. Alright, so it says 2, 1, 0. It stays at 0. I jump. It screws up. If it's positive, it works.
That is so weird. Why would it be a positive number?
Why would that matter at all? Because there's something we're doing with this check here. So let's go ahead and set this to...
But if it's less than or equal to 0, it should only do that if it's grounded.
So maybe it's because set trigger is already set. Maybe we're making some assumptions about how these triggers actually work.
That is possible.
So let's if grounded and jump time is less than 0 and alright, let's do one more. Private bool jumped equals false. We'll set jumped equals true, and we'll also say and jumped, and then we'll set jumped equals to false in here. I have a feeling this is going to do it. We'll clean this up later. And hit play. I think this is going to be it. Big bunny, whammies. Alright, it did it on the first try.
Now I have a second.
And it did it on the second try. And now let's actually make that number not stupid. 0.5. And we jump.
Okay, it's still in jump because that
stuck.
box
that
is
box
technically
isn't
not
ground.
the ground.
Yeah. So let's make this on the ground layer. Hit play.
So why even offer that method
Jump,
without a layer?
jump,
Wouldn't it always collide with itself?
Jump. Yeah, it would. That's the reason it's stupid.
Yeah.
In raycasting on the 3D stuff, you do not have to worry about that happening.
No.
And sphere casting, you don't have to worry about that happening. Even though I thought it was happening at one point, but I was wrong.
No, you don't, because I think that it sits as a 3D. Oh, that's probably why.
So it's working. What?
Oh, because it's technically a 2D model, it's probably colliding with itself because it's right there on the
What
same
happened
plane.
is Unity made a mistake and didn't test for a special case when they should have.
So if Unity, you're listening,
Yeah.
send Max $200,000.
Yeah. No, I'd be happy. I don't know. Like, I'm happy they gave us 2D stuff now. I don't have to complain about quads
Yeah, it's
anymore.
awesome.
All right, well, send me
So-
$200,000.
Anyway, it's 11:13. I'm gonna call it. So unless people have any specific questions or anything,
Just a question of why even offer that method without a layer? Wouldn't it always collide with itself? And why not feed the grounded bool into the animator?
grounded bool into the animator. We could totally feed the grounded bool into the animator, but the thing is, that's only one portion of what we need.
Yeah.
So the reason that we did it this way is so that there was a minimum, because you're going to get grounded anyway because you're going to be too close to the collider when you jump. So we did the jump time, and then we added a jumped thing because we're doing something that I wasn't expecting to do. I think basically set trigger is already set to land, and then you set it to jump, and then because it's already set to land, it sets it back to land immediately. That's my theory actually right now. So so that's the reason that it's doing this.
I think we're calling it.
Yeah, so I'm going to call it. I'm going to save the scene and do the little outro.
Outro.
So where's my face? There's my face. So thanks for joining us tonight. Sorry about all the little technical fizzazzles, but at least we got some things fixed. And actually, people can check the comments. Hey, it's Phil, and it's Justin. Justin's not camera shy. Actually, Phil's not either, but he just likes to not be in front of the camera.
Yeah,
There's a difference,
true.
evidently. But yeah, so thank you for joining us tonight. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, email me at pushypixels@pushypixels.com. You can also tweet me at Drakfire, DRAKFYRE. Buy Phil's game, Robot Alone. Phil, are you going to do your spiel?
I don't deserve a plug because I was late.
All right, well, don't
But
buy
you
Phil's
should
game.
still buy it.
No, not anymore.
Oh.
Can I get a free
Not
copy?
for this time. What was that?
Can I get a free copy or?
From
Of my game.
okay.
I'm sorry.
If you want to send me an email saying you were late, you can. That's philip@protosoftworks.com. You can also follow me on Twitter, the tweet machine. It's at Magmalemur. I forgot where I was located on the Twitter.
Yeah.
It's at Magmalemur, MAGMALEMUR.
And if you want to send me an email for just crashing the party and sounding like an idiot, it's iphwne@gmail.com.
All right. why
Also,
not?
additionally, Cooking with Unity, we do this stuff for free unless you give us donations.
Oh yeah, donations.
So you should click on
So,
the donation button.
This. I actually finally brought it with me. This is what the new coaster design looks like. And now I'm going to state they all should probably be this color, but I'm going to state now that I have the right to change the color at any time, and you do not get a choice of color, and it will be based on availability of tiles. And so these are the new coasters, and I think they look better than the old ones anyway. And those ones I'll be getting made sometime soon. I guess Justin would be the one to ask about that.
Yeah, where
and
did you
then
get such a
at
lovely
some
coaster?
point, Justin comes in and is like, "I lasered my T-shirt."
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Check it. Look,
yeah.
dude, I totally lasered this shirt. It's awesome.
Yeah. So I'll have those soon, and then I will be shipping those out to the backers. And of course, there's still the keychains. And again, if anyone thinks they should have gotten a keychain and has not yet, send me an email, pushypixels@pushypixels.com. And thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much for
We'll
joining us.
see you next week at the usual time on Monday, and I'll consider doing more 2D episodes on Tuesday. Maybe we'll do a 2D Tuesday type thing. Thank you very much, and have a great night.
Have a good night.
See ya.